Gosh, I hope this is a walleye. It's a big fish, whatever it is. Hey there folks, I'm Erik Osberg. And this is the Outdoor Report. And I'm out looking for big walleyes. It's gotta be a pike. And I was trolling big, huge baits. I can't show it to you, I wanna catch this fish. I'll show it to you later. Oh, this is a big fish. Oh. It's a big pike. Look at the size of that pike. Look at that pike. Woo! That's a big fish. That is a big, big pike. Holy smokes. Oh, don't bust me off. Alright, I gotta land this fish. My net's not big enough. Oh, I got him in a net. It is big enough. Whew. The old pike death roll. Oh. Oh. Oh man. How's that? How's that for a big fish, huh? Oh. Let's see if I can get a measurement on this guy. This might take a while. Come on, buddy. So the good news is I was able to get that fish released. It swam away nice and strong. Sorry I didn't film it. I was more worried about getting the fish released than I was about filming it. But what I wanted to talk about was for years now, pert near 10 years, 9 years I believe, 2010 is when the Outdoor Report started. For years now, we've been talking about making time. It's not about having time, it's about making time. And what I've meant by that is there's 24 hours in a day, right? Like we all get 24 hours in a day and we get to hopefully choose what we do with those 24 hours. And if something's important to you, you can prioritize and make it happen, make time. But interestingly enough, I've recently discovered that it might mean something else, something even cooler. Turns out there's a book that was written like in 2012 called Making Time. And here I gotta put the rod down and I gotta show you what I'm talking about. I don't have the book, but I have the I don't know if anybody still reads this magazine or reads magazines in general, but Willie has a lifetime membership to Bass, and so he gets Bassmaster magazine. And in the July-August issue, there is it's called The Back Deck. On the back deck, there's an article and it says, "Fish more, live longer." And this is by the editor-in-chief Dave Precht. I don't know how to say his last name. P-R-E-C-H-T. Dave, not that you'll ever see this, but sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. But anyways, in this editorial, he's talking about how as we get older, time seems to go faster, right? Like it's flying by. And so there's a bunch of different theories as to why that physiologically in our brain happens. So, but here's the part I wanted to read. So he talks about the other theories, hypotheses, if you will. He says, and this is, I'm quoting Dave here, "I much prefer the perceptual theory proposed by Steve Taylor, PhD, in his book, Making Time." I haven't read that book, by the way. "It's not the brain's ability to process mental images that affects our perception as time," Taylor noted, but the quality or novelty of those mental images. So many of the things a young person experiences are new and different, and they seem to take longer to live through. Now he's quoting Steve here, Steve Taylor, PhD. However, as we get older, we lose this intensity of perception, and the world becomes a dreary and familiar place. So dreary and familiar that we stop paying attention, he wrote. Now I'm back to quoting Dave. In other words, time has flown by because you've been bored. So when we talk about making time, yes, it's about 24 hours a day in a day, and you gotta put what's important at top. But we also, what it means to me now is I am making time. I am creating time. I am slowing my life down. And this will make a little bit more sense in a second. So again, I'm back to quoting Dave here. This wake-up call was driven home to me by Tim Sanders, a motivational speaker I heard at an American Sport Fishing Association seminar a couple of years ago. And now Dave quotes Tim Sanders. Most people have only 3 days they remember in the past month. He said, life is not the number of days you live, but the number of days you remember. I guarantee I'm going to remember that fish. Even if I hadn't caught that fish, I'm going to remember the clouds. I'm going to remember the blue sky. I'm going to remember the sunset or sunrise. So, pretty pleased with sugar on top. Whatever your drug of choice is, or whatever your vice is, however you handle things, if you're not making time to spend time in the outdoors, whether it's fishing or hunting or biking or hiking or canoeing or paddling, just in Mother Nature, the way it was intended, you're missing out. And the good news is, if you do make time to do these types of things, you'll have more days per month that you'll remember, and thereby you might slow life down a little bit. So that's all I got to say. Remember, it's not about having time, it's about making time. And I was going to explain what we were doing there. So anyways, what we were doing, I was trolling. Here, I was going to explain what we're doing there. So I was trolling these big crankbaits. Okay? I was trying to go for a big walleye, so I was trolling big crankbaits. And as I was trolling, I was noticing a bunch of fish on the bottom. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to switch it up. So I went to a puppet minnow, much like a jigging Rap, right? Now my puppet minnow is broken. But anyways, I saw healthy marks on the screen. And so I dropped down and boom, I got a 37-inch northern. So it was worth it. Thanks for listening. Oop, there's some fish on the screen here.